I'm not someone who scares easily, and I've never been the type to believe in things I can't explain. But something happened to me about 20 years ago in a San Diego apartment that I still can't make sense of to this day, and I've never stopped thinking about it. About 20 years ago, I was living in a brand new apartment build in San Diego. I'd been there about a year with my girlfriend at the time, but after we broke up she moved out, and a buddy of mine, I'll call him Zed, needed a place to crash for a few months. It worked out for both of us. He needed a roof, and I could use the help with rent. Zed was between jobs, so while I was at work all day, he was home watching TV and playing video games. We partied pretty hard in the evenings too. Probably too hard, looking back. Zed used to complain constantly that he couldn't sleep. He said he'd find himself waking up in the middle of the night, sitting up and staring at one specific corner of the room. I didn't think much of it. We were going to bed blackout drunk every night, so I figured it was just that messing with him. Then came the remote incident. Zed had just bought the Lost DVD box set, and yeah, that tells you how long ago this was, and he called out to let me know he was starting it up. Half an hour went by, and I came out to find the place in chaos. He couldn't find the DVD remote, and this player had no buttons on it at all. You needed the remote for everything. So we searched. And I mean searched. We tore that apartment apart for nearly 2 hours. We checked the cars. We checked the dishwasher. We went through every pocket of every pair of jeans in the laundry basket. We completely disassembled the pull-out couch Zed was sleeping on. Nothing. We finally gave up, agreed to just go buy a new DVD player, and put the apartment back together. We were sitting on the couch side by side, completely defeated, when I had one last thought. I hadn't checked the freezer. Long shot, I know, but we checked the fridge, so why not? I told Zed, hey, let me check one more place. Got up, went to the freezer. Nothing. I walked back 20 seconds later and the remote was sitting right there on the couch. Exactly where I had been sitting. Zed was right next to it on his laptop the entire time I was gone. I picked it up and said, "Dude, where did you find it?" He looked up, went completely white, and neither of us said a word. We both ran outside and stood there freaking out for the better part of an hour. Over the next few weeks, things started going missing, specifically things that carried an electrical charge. Phone chargers, laptop cables, an electric razor charger, an MP3 player cable. They'd just vanish. Zed eventually moved out on a weekday while I was at work, and when I got home, the room he'd been staying in was completely empty, except for every single one of those missing cables, sitting together in a pile in the corner. I know he didn't do it as a prank, because I had to mail a few of those cables to him after he left. After Zed moved out, I couldn't sleep in my own bed anymore. I'd end up on the couch every night, and almost every night I'd wake up sitting upright, staring at that same corner of the room Zed had always described waking up to stare at. Then came the moment that ended my time in that apartment. Once a month I'd work a late shift and get home around 7 a.m. I crashed on the couch that morning and woke up around 10. There was an old man standing about 4 feet in front of me. My first instinct was that I was still half asleep, so I just kept staring at him for about a minute, until I was certain I was completely awake. He was dressed strangely for his age. T-shirt, sneakers, long socks pulled up to his calves, a baseball cap. He just stood there. Then, after maybe 3 minutes, he turned and looked directly at me. We made eye contact. And then he took a few steps and was gone. I had already been planning to move out in 2 weeks. I was gone in 2 days. I've had other experiences I can't explain, but this one has always stuck with me the most, because it wasn't just me. Zed experienced it too, independently, before any of this escalated. Whatever was in that apartment, it made itself known to both of us, and I don't think I'll ever have a real answer for what it was. If you had something similar happen to you, I'd genuinely like to hear it. Drop it in the comments below. And if you want to hear more stories like this one, I have plenty.